This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Going balls out in the lumberyard.
Watching the Grunion Pro Magi. If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 231. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, we got Kevin Rakestraw. How are you, Kevin?
Doing well.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. On the mic, how are you?
What?
Oh, good.
High energy.
I see you're bringing your A game today. Yes.
Watch out.
That's what I bring to the table.
Every day in, day out.
What movie do we have you watch this week?
The Time Machine.
The Time Machine. This is from 2002. This is, according to Rotten Tomatoes, this is directed by Gore Verbinski. Picked this in honor of A Cure for Wellness coming out this week. I don't know the story behind this. Probably should have looked it up beforehand, but apparently it's an uncredited.
Yeah, because IMDb says Simon Wells.
Yeah, so according to IMDb, Simon Wells, the guy who did Kung Fu Panda, did he do Kung Fu Panda? No, he didn't. He was the animator for Kung Fu Panda. He did Mars Needs Moms and The Prince of Egypt and Balto and We're Back, A Dinosaur Story.
And hit the next one. What's the first one?
American Tail. Five Goes West. So it's like, I got excited there for a second because I was like, an American Tail. And then I was like, Five Goes West. Because that one was pretty garbage, honestly.
Yeah, but it's still Five, man.
It is still Five, yeah. So I don't know what the story is behind this one. Maybe Wikipedia will hold some answers as to why he's not actually credited. Either way, Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about Time Machine 2002?
Well, there's a guy back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, and he has a girlfriend, and he thinks about proposing to her, and when he thinks that, she is almost immediately killed by a mugger. So his view is to build a time machine and go back in time and stop it from happening. So he builds this machine, goes back in time, stops the mugger, only shortly after that to find her killed by I believe a carriage ran her over, so she died anyway.
Damn.
And then he kind of falls asleep in that time machine wheel and makes his way 800,000 years in the future, which this is where it started confusing me. He goes into the future and he finds normal people, and one of them has to speak English, and she's trying to teach all the other village people to understand English as well. And there's also these people, well, they're not people, they're like creatures that live underground. And the underground people come and take the girl, and there's a little kid that's with her throughout the movie. And this guy and this kid team up to go find her. And they finally find her underground, and they meet Jeremy Irons, who apparently, I think he plays the same guy, only 800,000 years in the future, because all the other underground people are also descendants of humans, and Jeremy Irons is kind of their leader, sort of, and him and this guy get a fight on the time machine. And eventually Jeremy Irons gets pushed out. The time machine has a little bubble around it. And Jeremy Irons gets pushed out of the bubble. And it makes him age really, really quickly. And he kind of just disintegrate into nothing. And obviously that time machine guy becomes the hero. And his new idea is that he should live in this time. So he stays there after he frees the girl. And apparently they'll live happily ever after.
Okay. So what'd you think of this?
I fucking hate it.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
So I'm assuming this is based on the H.G. Wells novel, which I don't think I ever read. Have you ever read that, Kevin?
No. I've never read any H.G. Wells.
I read War of the Worlds.
So you're like the closest thing we have to an expert.
Yeah, no. I don't know what the differences are between this, what you just described, and the actual plot of the book. So I can't really speak to that. I take it, Ryan, you are not familiar with the plot of the book.
No. I was telling Kevin, nearly time travel, and Ace Man is Back to the Future. Everything else is crap.
You hate everything else. So do you just naturally judge everything based on Back to the Future? Like, do you use that as the watermark?
Sort of.
Okay. So this just didn't live up to... What is it about Back to the Future, though?
It just makes us man like I'm able to follow. I'm into it. I'm able to follow it.
Gotcha.
This movie I was not into at all, and following it was quite difficult because of that.
So it's just a matter of being able to follow it.
Yeah.
Because I know you do have you're not a fan of the time travel movies. You don't seem to want any part of them.
No, really. Because, like I said before, many moons ago, when you make a time travel movie, you basically make whatever you want happen. Because technically there are no rules.
So it kind of sounds like you're more upset that time travel movies have gotten like maybe a bit more cerebral, where they're trying to use like actual science, and you're just like fucking have fun.
It's ridiculous. Like this one goes 800 years in the 800,000 years in the future. What the fuck was like 30 years?
You think they just... So you just kind of think they went overboard. They just went a bit too far into the future.
Yeah. And like it's all it's like the way I'm describing it right now, it would be like a Mad Max world. Like there's no actual like buildings or anything like that.
Yeah.
Everything is wide open. It's just I don't like it.
According to this, it says that he briefly finds himself in the year 635,427,810.
That's what that's even worse. I thought it was only 1,000.
He was upset with the 802,701, but man, when they get into even further than that, Ryan's like, get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here with that. Well, so I kind of take issue with you saying that Back to the Future is the only good time travel movie. Like, what about
it's the only one I like.
Terminator 2?
Alright, I don't really think of that as a time traveling.
Well, guess what? It fucking is.
It's a huge time travel movie. It's all about time travel. What about Time Cop, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Didn't I watch that for this before?
Time Cop's awesome.
Time Cop.
I don't care what anybody says. Time Cop is the shit. What about Looper? Were you a fan of Looper? What about
Damn.
you kind of liked that one that we saw at South by Southwest, Predestination. The one with Ethan Hawke.
That's because there were like fucking 75 of him. And that one seemed to make it laugh a lot.
What about Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll accept that. Again, when I think of that, I don't think of. I mean, I know it's about time travel, but in my head, that's not what I'm thinking of.
Because they don't get in the nitty gritty of time travel logic. They just
that should be more up your alley. Yeah, it's just like a playground to them. And I think we talk about this one often when we have this discussion. But what about the butterfly effect?
Oh yeah.
Because I remember you being into that one.
Oh yeah.
That in a while. That may not hold up.
Well, I can tell you right now, I guarantee it doesn't.
I really love that because I love Baby Smart. She's a big reason why I love that man.
I thought it was because of Ashton Kutcher. Thought you were a big Kutcher fanatic. So I don't see anything in here about Gore Verbinski's involvement. Kevin, were you able to find anything on that?
No. It just says uncredited, but doesn't say.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he like dropped out or what.
Do you think when they got to the point where they're like, oh, now we have to film in the year 800 and 2701, he was just like running like, no fucking way.
That's ridiculous. That's
out of
too
control.
Much. Maybe 30 years in the future, but 802? No,
this is silly. I'm not going to be part of this.
Forget it. Interestingly, Simon Wells is the great-grandson of H.G. Wells.
Get out of town.
Yeah, so
wow.
I don't know why they wouldn't have grabbed him
right
from
off
the beginning.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Bad move.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the Time Machine as a whole?
Stupid.
Ooh, harsh.
Yeah, 8 or 600 million is dumb.
It also seems like Guy Pearce gets extremely distracted. Like he builds the time machine to go back to save her, and then that ends in death too. So then he goes into the future to figure out if he can, and then he just gets completely sidetracked by this.
I like how he fell asleep in the time machine.
I think he can't change the past, so he gives up on that. He goes into the future and finds another girl he loves. Shake her there.
Couldn't you just go back again and try again? You know what I mean? Like he tried one time and failed, and he's like, "Well, guess that's it."
And they tell pretty well that you can't change the past.
Yeah, but how's he supposed to know that?
Someone tells him that.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure whoever tells him is an expert on time travel.
It's
such a prominent thing in the 1800s.
Computer. I can't remember the guy's name.
It's the guy from
the computer is like all connected.
It's the guy from Mad TV, right?
Yeah, the Sprite commercials.
The Sprite commercials.
No, he's in the Office Space.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I know exactly what you're talking about. I saw it in the trailer. I didn't watch this movie, but I did watch the trailer.
He's like
but still, he would have had to go to the future to find out that information. So that was already after he failed and moved on.
Yeah, you would think that he would go, or is that the time that he falls asleep and fucks everything up? I love that he's just terrible.
Other all broken. Fucking dumb.
I will say that from the trailer, it looked like Guy Pearce was so young in this movie. Like, he just looks like a little kid.
Somewhat kiddish.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, since we're talking about this because of Gore Verbinski, let's go over some of his movies. Now, you should be a huge fan of this guy, Ryan, because he did Mouse Hunt. He did The Mexican. Weren't you a big fan of that one, The Mexican with Brad Pitt?
I liked it, yeah.
He did The Ring, the American remake of the Ring. He did Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl.
Oh,
Yeah. He did The Weatherman with Nicolas Cage.
wait. What's the one where the Family Man
Yeah, that was the one with Taya Leone. That was that one. I liked The Weatherman.
is the Weatherman, but where he has like two kids?
You know, I can't remember that movie.
The Pop.
Yeah, it's him getting hit with that.
The Big Gulp.
Yeah. That's exactly what
I just love how
that.
that was actually part of the story. The fact that people seem to love to throw big gulps at him from their cars.
It's a good thing to base a movie on.
It is.
It wasn't
So
a
he
good
did.
movie,
You said it wasn't?
no, it was terrible.
I remember liking it. I mean, I haven't seen it since
Oh,
it came out, but
if that counts.
he did the other two. He did Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest, and he did Pirates of the Caribbean: At World's End. Then he did Rango and The Lone Ranger. So pretty Disney-fied career for the most part. Lots of Disney stuff there.
Is he doing the new Pirates, man?
No,
he got out.
he did get out. He didn't do the one before last either. I can't remember what the name of that. All those Pirates movies, they just bleed together into one thing.
Yeah,
one glob.
I'm more of a. They should stick to the whole 1, 2, 3. It's so
I
much
know.
easier.
It gets very confusing with the subtitles. Like, I don't know. I guess The Curse of the Black Pearl is the first one. Is that the first one?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Seems like it.
What name them? Name the four of them.
There's The Curse of the Black Pearl, Dead Man's Chest, At World's End, and then there's, I don't know the name of the fourth one. I don't have it in front of me. That was the one with, like, I think Chow Yun-Fat was in it.
Curse the Black Pearl is the first one, I think.
I'm pretty sure it was, because that came out in 2003. Rango, I was a huge fan of Rango. I loved Rango. Not a Disney movie, but it was very, very funny.
This guy and Johnny Depp, they seem to work together a lot.
Yeah, they've worked together a good bit. Did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies together. It's funny, like when I see or hear about Gore Verbinski, for some reason he's one of these guys where I think that he's had this huge career.
Mm-hmm.
He's been at it for forever. But really, his first movie came out in 1997. It was Mouse Hunt. And he only has 10 features under his belt, which that's.
It's still a decent career, but
yeah, of course.
Yeah, you're right, but it does seem like he's one of those directors that's been working forever and has this huge list of films in his filmography, but it's only 10.
I still want to like him. He's one of these directors where I want to like him and his stuff. I think, if anything, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are visually appealing. I think they have a good look to them. So, all right. Before we talk about his latest movie, let's get your drum roll, Ryan. What do you give The Time Machine?
Sorry.
Yeah, it is a 3 out of 10.
So I'll say it was one of the better quality time travel movies I've seen.
Okay. So what do you think about A Cure for Wellness, Ryan?
I'm kind of interested. It looks pretty twisted.
Looks pretty twisted. Looks pretty sick.
What?
I don't
Oh God.
What's your take, Kevin?
It looks interesting.
Does it look twisted?
It looks a little twisted. Looks a little sick.
I'm afraid that it's gonna be the same as Shutter Island or one of these movies where it's like all in his head, or he's really crazy, or just
yeah, because it is what he sent to bring his boss back or something, right?
Yeah, like his boss is at this
so
clinic.
It's gonna end up being at the end where it's like, no, they sent you here because you're sick,
right? Like, I just get a lot of Shutter Island vibes from it.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it might go that way too. I hope I'm wrong, but it does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. Either way, again, it looks like there's some really creepy imagery and stuff, so I'll probably check it out just for the hell of it. I mean, it has a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not doing not doing so hot.
Oh boy.
The average rating is 5.5 out of 10, so it seems mediocre at best. But yeah, I'll still give it a look. Any final thoughts? Ryan, Cure for Wellness, what do you think?
I'll rent it when it comes out.
I'll rent it. I'll hit up the old Hollywood Video.
It's not a movie I'm rushing to the theater. It takes a lot to get me out. This is not one of them.
What is your next movie that you're going to see in the theater? What's your next one?
Good Vampire, the Caribbean.
What?
The new Pirates of the Caribbean.
Possible.
Okay.
Like, it's so coy about it. Like, oh, maybe.
That meant, like, I don't necessarily love those movies, but my dad did, so I feel like some sort of obligation.
It's almost like a pilgrimage for you when a new one comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think that those movies are inherently bad. They're not for me. Like, I saw the first one, I enjoyed it. The second one, I was like, I don't know about it. And then that was it. Like, that was enough for me.
Yeah.
I don't really have a problem with them.
I don't have a problem with them either. I'm not like into pirates. I'm not a pirate guy. So I'm just right off the bat. I'm just not interested.
I like the ride a lot in Disney World.
Sure, the ride's great. Love the ride. I'm not a big fan of the fact that there's like so much like mysticism and ghosts and creatures and things.
You just want more swashbuckling.
Yeah, I want it to be a little bit more grounded. It doesn't have to be 100%, true to life. If it was, then we wouldn't be rooting for any of these characters. They'd all be
just murdering and raping.
Raping and murdering everyone. Because, I mean, come on now. They're pirates.
Yeah.
They're not good guys.
No. And I have a strong feeling that pirates back then weren't that funny.
No,
they didn't. I don't think they had good times. I think it was mostly just misery.
Yeah, I think so.
They inflicted a lot of misery on people. I don't think they like danced around and shit, spoke to ghosts and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts on A Cure for Wellness or The Time Machine, Ryan?
Nope.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this week then. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin, and @MyLegsDon'tWork. And if you have a minute, take a look at our Patreon page, patreon.com/FilmPulse. Consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
See you later.